Hey, fire signs, it's your girl Cosmic Jazz 22, and today I am back with another collective message. Please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, if you have planets in the sign of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, this message is for you. Fire signs, can I ask you why is your reading the messiest compared to the other signs? Because I just don't get it, but here we are, here we are. So, the reason why I say this is because, there's many cards, there's many indicators here telling me that not everybody's your friend and you need to put up your guards a little bit at the moment and really smell the coffee. So the funny thing is, I'm listening to some lo-fi music, and the song that's playing right now is Hidden World or A Hidden World. So I'm seeing there is secrets and there's something you're not seeing that's hidden from you, quite literally. The astro dice, and I'm going to get into it. We're going to get into it. We have Neptune in the 11th house in the sign of Virgo. When you have Neptune in anything, it can cause confusion. It can cause some type of delusion in some way. The 11th house deals with friendships, friend groups, social groups, community, collective. And Virgo is all about being critical and noticing the details. So I'm seeing that you need to be very mindful of who you have around you and observe how people are moving, because you are noticing some signs, fire signs, right? You're noticing certain things that are happening, but are you choosing to ignore them? Or are you going to take this moment to choose to not ignore them and actually take note, gather receipts? So, getting into your cards, we have the 10 of Cups reverse, the 7 of Wands, and then the High Priestess reverse. I am seeing a breaking of a trust here. I'm specifically seeing a potential water sign. So this could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, someone with that placement, or maybe Cancer season is being the focal point here. But the 10 of Cups is all about a happily ever after that never happens. Let's put it that way. The 10 of Cups can even speak of family, the family unit, but a broken family unit. This can even talk about communities that are broken or groups that are broken. The 7 of Wands is all about being on defense mode, trying to protect your position, putting up your guard. And then we have the High Priestess reverse, which is a breaking of a trust. This even speaks of the timing is a little bit weird. So you might be noticing certain situations or the way people are moving, the way people are communicating with you. The timing is quite odd. So definitely take note of how someone is communicating and when they're communicating with you. I think there's there's something going on with that. But the High Priestess even speaks of you kind of closing out or shutting down your intuition when you clearly see something is happening, but you just are choosing to avoid it. Fire signs, if somebody has been showing themselves to you over and over again, that should be an indicator that, hey, this person should not be in your vicinity. Just putting that out there. Now, I am seeing with spilled milk here. We have regrets, we have mistakes, cleanup, disappointment. So I'm definitely getting, maybe you are aware of who I'm talking about, and maybe you two are not, or maybe you and this group of people are not associated with each other anymore. There's something here about moving forward and not making the same mistakes again. So again, it's like you don't need, not everyone has to be your friend. Even if they're nice, even if you feel a vibe, it's all about discernment. If you're noticing certain red flags, if you're noticing a repeating of a pattern, then you have to move accordingly. And I'm specifically seeing that with Fortress here, sealed off, ready for anything. This is somebody who is unbreakable. So I feel like you dealt with this already, fire signs. And the message here is, do you want to go through that again, or are you going to actually learn from your lessons? And then we have happening soon. The situation or event in question would develop or unfold very soon. I would say, I think there's more information coming out in the near future regarding who is around you. You're definitely going to be seeing people for who they are if you haven't already. And the whole point is to take off the rose tinted glasses and see them as who they are. So stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. I know you want to be nice. I know you want to be out there and, making friends and feeling like you belong in a group. But if someone isn't being truthful or authentic to you when you're showing up authentically, then that itself is not going to work. I also want to mention there's a song I channeled for you. We have FAB, Fab by JoJo featuring Remy Ma. And the theme deals with fake friends, of course. So I'm going to read the lyrics. It does have some cussing, so I'm not going to say the actual word, but you get the point. So we got fake AB. Y'all know what that means. When they smile in your face, but behind you it ain't well wishes. When they eat all the food off your plate and they don't do dishes. When they words and their actions blur and they don't know different. No time for these fakes. Okay, so I'm not going to say it, but anyways, you get the point. It's almost like people will smile in your face, people will congratulate you, but behind closed doors, they have really nasty intentions. They will feed off of your energy. They will try to take your ideas. They will try to mimic you. You know, they would try to portray themselves as a good friend and they're trying to convince themselves, but in reality, they're doing the complete opposite. So it's almost like hypocrisy and walking contradictions. So be mindful, fire signs, of who you are aligning yourselves with. And I can't emphasize this enough. I think part of the issue is I'm seeing abundance in your energy, fire signs. I'm seeing you're building your life up. I'm seeing a very stable foundation. So you're on the right path to whatever goal or achievement you are currently working on. I am seeing I'm seeing something about a relationship. A relationship could be a focus here, maybe a marriage, or a new connection you're forming with someone. I'm also seeing work, career being highlighted, school, whatever thing that's moving along beautifully is the highlight. I'm even seeing a home. Someone could be purchasing a home. Now, the problem I'm seeing is these friends I'm referring to, these fake friends, these people you need to be wary of. And I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, there's a bit of ill intentions here, a little bit of evil eye, if I'm going to be completely honest. And I'm specifically looking at this right now, like that eye is standing out to me for some reason. So you could be in the midst of achieving a goal, or you already did, and I am seeing some evil eye here. So it's like you don't want people around you that are not going to support you, who are actually want the worst for you, who wants to be above you in some way. You don't want that type of person around you, fire signs, especially when you're in a beautiful time. And maybe that's why you're not noticing the red flags, or maybe you're choosing to ignore because you are celebrating some way. It's crazy because now I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing the phrase rising sun. So it's like you came from a dark period, fire signs. Like you've been pretty quiet, I would say, or you've been on the low, and you're now rising up. You're now making I'm hearing stage appearance. Like you're making your entrance, your grand entrance. That's what you're doing. And it's like the moment you're supposed to be uplifted and celebrated, there's a lot of envy. And it's so crazy. And I'm pretty sure this might hurt a little bit, but it's like, dang, I went through all that nonsense just for you to turn around and be upset with me for making my life different. It's crazy. I feel like these friends that I'm referring to have seen you at your lowest. And maybe they were very supportive at that time, but what's really fitting, or I mean, not really fitting, but what's really telling of someone's true intentions is how they react or how they treat you once you start winning. So they could have been all lovey-dovey and supportive of you at your lowest, but the minute you start making changes and they perceive it as you doing better than them, their reaction to that is really going to tell you what type of person they are, because they're so comfortable with you being at your lowest. You know why? Because they were above you. They perceive themselves as above you or superior. But now you are rising like the sun. Rebirth. So fire signs, let me just say this. If they try to get too close, you better burn them. That's all I got to say. And I'm in my reading with that. Hope you guys resonated with that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.